Hey y'all. Just when you think they try to forget about this dude, you can't forget about the dude, right? But I think we have an update on his appeal. Hey Johnny, hey Captain, hey Queen Shay, how you doing, baby? So this is credit to Lisa. Say what? This is credit to Lisa. Says what? So let's get this party started. Let's go.
The affidavit that was filed for Zoca's arrest. As you know, Zoca has been bailed out. She is back in the company of Efru and Aya and Malia. She also was part of the head shaving stunt that I think backfired on them, because if they didn't know who the Manson girls were before they shaved their heads, they know who they are now. And it's not a good look for Poppy. Poppy's been claiming he's not a cult leader, and then here you guys go mimicking cult behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But so I thought this was interesting, the affidavit, and it said personal appearance appeared the undersigned prosecutor Naika Dumas, who on oath said that to the best of the prosecutor's knowledge and belief, the above named accuser between 1 6 2024 and 8:15 p.m. and 1 6 2024 8:15 p.m. at 4425 Memorial Drive, Decatur, Georgia, DeKalb County, did commit the offense of criminal trespass, unlawful purposes, a misdemeanor, in violation of OCGA and 167-21B1, and against DeKalb County Sheriff Office and the law of the state of Georgia. The facts this affidavit arrest is based on said accused did knowingly and without authority land or permits land on or premise of DeKalb County Sheriff's Office located at 4425 Memorial Drive, Decatur, Georgia, for an unlawful purpose. And then it goes on to say, conduct a contraband drop.
Yeah.
Prosecutors make this affidavit that a warrant may be issued for accused person's arrest. They had for arresting Zoca is that persons monitoring cameras for the sheriff's department of the jail saw a vehicle arrive that had been used in a prior contraband drop.
Is it? How stupid can you be? Why would you drive a van that been there already? Why? Why? Why would Nature Boy have you drive a van to a place that van been driven before? Y'all know Nature Boy, they got them brains over there. Y'all know we stupid over here and they smart over there. Cause we stupid over here and they smart over there. What's up though? What really matters but cats? Take the same van that was caught already, right? And you know what to do. Drive it with some more stuff in it. Because they don't think that somebody will use that van twice. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. How was y'all Sunday today? Hopefully you guys had a beautiful Sunday.
Now, what was that prior contraband drop? Was that the same? Did they use the same vehicle that Afro used when they had the that? Isn't that
No,
what I sent you? That's different
it's
from the
different.
Beagle clerk
Mm-hmm.
posting. Oh well, I you're right. This is the one. Yes, you
Oh, that's nice. Just another day. Me too.
it has basic. Hey, 80s baby. Hey, BB. Sorry, I'm late. Medea, I'm early. Thank you very much. Were any of their attempts to deliver contraband successful? That's what my question is, Jacqueline. That is my question. I don't know if they're talking about the drop that Efru made uh not not too long before this. So that car was on their radar. They knew that car. That's why when they saw it appear on the I don't know why they were also parked in an unauthorized area, which the affidavit will get to that. When approached by Deputy Defendant Carter, the driver, gave a false name and date of birth. She was parked in an unauthorized area. Why would you park in an unauthorized area to make a contraband drop? This is, you guys are not criminals. You don't know how, you don't operate as criminals. You don't think like criminals. Stop committing crimes because you're not good at it. She was parked in an unauthorized area and stated she was there to meet a bonding agent. Bonding agents, the bonding agent denied the same. So they, I guess they contacted the bond, like, what bonding agent are you meeting? What is their name? And I guess the cop, doing a thorough investigation, called the bonding agent and was like, nope, sorry, not meeting her there. Then defendant
Exactly.
Carter, which we know Carter is the alias that Zoca Jean Marie Hamilton used. She was using the name Kendria Carter, then changed her story to say she was there to bond someone out. Various stories were all discredited. So I guess they discredited that, like, well, who are you getting out? And are they getting out today? And I guess she gave them a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo. Again, Zoka, sweetie, leave the crime into somebody else. Various stories were all discredited. Defendant was taken into custody. It was then discovered defendant Wade, aka Portia Wade, aka Aya, was hiding under some items in the trunk of the same vehicle. She was taken
She
into
was trying to
custody. An inventory
hide.
search of the vehicle located.
Aya, why you didn't go out with your girl? Yo, at least she ain't snitched. Her thing, she's. When you thought they wasn't going to check, girl, you thought they wasn't going to check. Duh. You know what? Nature, no, see, this is why nobody don't want to join carbonation. This is exactly why nobody don't want to join carbonation because of the things that you do. Mm-hmm.
And we all know the laundry list of things they had in their possession was a drone to be used for the contraband drop, 48.3 grams of marijuana packaged for small sales, rolling papers, razor blades, a bullhorn, binoculars, and a magnifying glass. It was determined that no driver's license had ever been issued for D. Carter, sworn to and subscribed by this on 1/7/2024 at 6 p.m. And the rest of these are just the order for bond and some other the warrants for her arrest. The affidavit here, Kendria Carter personally appeared. The undersigned. Okay, yeah, this all just repeats itself. So I thought that was interesting that the court made mention of um a previous drops. Hey Faith. Thanks, mods. You guys are doing a great job. I really appreciate it. Um the likes are liking, as Medea likes to say. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, we're doing really well. Okay, so we just need 10 more likes. We hate to bug you guys about hitting the like button, subscribing, and donating to the channel if you're enjoying the content. But all of the indicators suggest, yeah, so, and it's got to pay off by hearing that cash register ring to change, you know, money coming in from some other YouTube channel. This is it. This is what I do. So if you enjoy the but so yes, I wonder how Aya n- why she decided to hide under the blankets in the back of the truck. Um did she not know that that car was probably going to be going into impound? Thank you, Mo. I appreciate you so much. Did Susan, I love you. Um, did she know that uh they were going to impound the truck and then she was going to be found out at some point? They weren't going to just leave the car there because number one, the car was parked in an unauthorized area. If you do not have a driver's license, if you are in the process of committing a crime, don't park where you're not supposed to be parked so that someone, which gives the cops or the meter maid or whomever an opportunity to come and scrutinize your behavior. You're getting ready. I mean, this none of this makes any sense to me. Uh, I try not to talk about what they talk about since they reveal their shaved heads. You know, this the last we heard of her. And so this was the arrest warrant for Zoca. The Bigo, the Bigo docket account put out something similar to this. Yes, be on your P's and Q's. I appreciate that, Susan. And so what uh I wanted Andrew to come on today and go over with us was the motion for a new trial that Robert Booker filed on behalf of Eligio. And
We're at Dave's Hot Chicken, and we're gonna try the Dave's cauliflower not chicken.
like I said, he's recovering from his rotator cuff surgery, so he wasn't able to, but he may be able to come on next week. Someone really needs to make a movie with all the little side shenanigans too, not just the main stuff. Well, Chanel, that I think that is what books are. Chantel. That's I think that the people that cover Nation and that have long like the squad and the T and you know logos Ashe. Um, I think that they are as much a part of this story as anything. The people, this what is this woman? Especially women who listen to Scheherazade Ali. We've talked about her on this show. Aaron Dixon did an extensive. Uh, so, but I'm not surprised that the wives are discretion of the court according and then they cite the OCGA. The verdict is contrary to the evidence, and then they cite another OCGA. No, actually, they cite the same one 5-5-20. The verdict is strongly against the weight of the evidence. OCGA 5-5-21. The court improperly admitted or excluded evidence. The court erred in charging the jury. Such other grounds which lie in the sound legal discretion of the court according to the provisions of the common law and practices of the court. The defendant requests an opportunity to particularize the grounds for a new trial upon receipt of transcript of the
When Nature Boy is basically, he's reaching, right? He's reaching and he's trying to say the three blind mice was there, right? If they do that, they're going to eat them blind mice up, right? The four blind mice, the drone sisters, they are going to eat the drone sisters up. They're going to eat them up because there's no way you let that man sit there for 2 years and they're going to say, oh, nobody asked us. We didn't know. How about go to the precinct? Why ain't tell the story to the precinct? You can't get out of, you can't get out of letting that man sit in jail and you knew the truth. So that man, then he's going to state that at no point in time was he in the room with her by herself. Uh, yeah, yeah. The question was already, was she in the room? Right? When Nature Boy told his story, he didn't mention that anyone was in the room. He said he called her in the room. Right? You didn't say yeah, and when I called her in the room, see, Nature Boy, you supposed to state that already. Not after you get served. Hey, Miss Rod, it don't go like that. You cannot after you get served. Anybody could come up with a whole new story. Yeah, I got it right this time, and I want to present it. This ain't going nowhere, but if it makes them feel better, we're gonna listen. We're gonna listen to it, right? Oh, we were there. Then your ass ain't say nothing in 2 years. You let that man miss bond after bond, and you knew you was there. Oh no, you was saving it. The man, you was saving it for court, right? You was saving it for court. So they couldn't have used you as a witness no other time. The 4 times you went for bond, you still ain't said nothing, right? Because you thought it was smart enough to say, but they're going to tear you up. I'm not even a lawyer. I'm not even a lawyer, a prosecutor. I'm none of the above. But if you think you're going to come tell me some stupidness like that, baby, it's unbelievable. That's going to be some unbelievable stuff. It's going to stay just like that. Unbelievable. But they think everybody's stupid. Of course they do. But let's get back.
For transcript of the case. Wherefore, the defendant requests that these grounds be inquired of by the court, and that a new trial be granted, and that the hearing on defendant's motion for a new trial be conducted until after the defendant receives a transcript of the trial, and for counsel has had an adequate time to review said transcript and particularize this motion. So what he's saying is he needs to get um, whatever attorney gets this, they're going to need a copy of the transcript, and then I guess they will drill down on each of these complaints. Uh, uh, and cite further case law. And because Andrew said this was all very, very vague, that for a motion for a new trial. But yeah, so that's Booker. I think shortly after doing this, he filed to be taken off the case.
I know
So
he did.
this will lie to another attorney, and if Felicio is able to find a pro bono appellate lawyer, or he comes up with the money, and based on their GoFundMe campaign, they hadn't made over $2,000 in the last 14 days.
Thank you
So,
so much.
and I think he has a couple days
Thank
before.
you. What's up,
Yeah,
Jay?
Keisha, I think you're absolutely right. It is going to be denied, and I think that
She made it rain. She made it rain. She
that's
made it rain.
basically what Andrew also said, that there were some habeas corpus uh, issues. Hey, thank you guys for sending me the Cash App. I really appreciate it. I need it. I love you for it. Thank you. If remember, and if you want your donation to be, if you want to be added to the back chat, just let me know on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, then shame on you. But yes, so that is what we're going to be talking to Andrew about when he comes on next week, about this motion. If we don't have a denial uh, by Judge Heydrich by then, we shall see. We shall see. It doesn't look very likely. It doesn't look very robust. It doesn't look like he spent very much time on this. As we know, Booker doesn't do a big long drafts of motions. He cuts right to the chase and gives you the bare minimum, which is maybe why his client is serving life in
No,
prison.
no. His client wanted
Maybe
that.
one of the
Mm-mm,
stark reasons why
mm-mm.
he didn't put up a much of a defense.
No, he put up a lot of defense. What he gonna do with somebody who
You said
already
this,
said they
the
did it?
scales of justice have evened themselves out in this case. Yep. Well, it's not over because he does have a right to an appeal, and he
Yeah,
may get his appeal in on time. I believe tomorrow, Monday is probably the first. That's the last day
Monday
he
the
has,
holiday.
and
He got to the
yeah,
second. He got to.
we shall see
He got
what
to
he's able
Tuesday.
to do. But if that GoFundMe, like I said, is any indication, nah,
There's a motion for a new
because I'm
trial.
I'm pretty sure it's going to take more than
He
seventeen
went.
hundred
I don't even
dollars
know.
for
Hey
a
Danielle. Hey Marquise.
criminal defense, an appellate attorney. Is hey simply no, he's not. Simply Lee, no Booker. He withdrew from the case. Hey, Perfect Nails, haven't seen you in around here in a while. Rocky will read for you. Thank you. Why was crime released? I don't know if the car was released. Rocky will read it for you. I'm not sure,
Rocky will read you.
but
Say
that's
my
something
girl
maybe we
name
can
right.
if Andrew maybe has an idea, but I don't know if it was or wasn't released. But when you're parked in the wrong in an unauthorized parking space, area. You don't have a driver's license, neither one of you, and you're in the middle of committing a crime. It was bound to go bad. It was bound to. And then check this out. You give the cops a name that you've already used in the commission of another crime. Doesn't make any sense. Hey, LP lurking. It doesn't make any sense. You got to already have your story. If I am caught back here and they say, "What are you doing?" You got to already have your story concocted. You can't say, "Oh, I'm meeting a bail bondsman." Well, which one? Is it Fred last bail bondsman, the one who got you out of jail the last time, the one that got Efru out of jail? I mean, no. I think it was Aya out of jail and Jackson Juju. Is it that bond company that you're waiting for, ma'am? Because they
Hmm.
said that they have no appointment with you. They said that they have no idea what you are talking about. You got to have your lies already straight. Hey, a little surprise. The judge said he had 30 days, right? So if you count from the March 2nd to the 31st, that's 30 days.
It's
So
Easter
he
Sunday.
only has until March 31st. That's true.
No, he got to
That is
April
true.
2nd.
Maybe they'll give him until the 1st.
No, uh he got to the 2nd. Everything is closed tomorrow. Everything is closed Monday because of the holiday. So the courts and stuff will not be there tomorrow. So he has to Tuesday. So nobody's not working on nothing. We shall find out. We shall find out Tuesday, the 2nd.
He better be glad March 31st is I mean that March has 31 days.
Eh, 31 days, 30 is still 30.
So yeah, so it doesn't look good for the motion for a new trial. Now, a new lawyer could come in and it could be a whole new ball game. They could come in pro bono. They could see the media landscape on this trial and say, "Oh, okay, maybe I'll handle the appeal and the new trial. Maybe I can find a little find out something that hasn't been that wasn't present in the first trial." That's why they want a copy of the transcript. I was talking to Medea about what the transcript dollars. So I don't know if that's on the agenda to ever purchase it. But once it's up there, it's going to be interesting. Um, Especially going back over Booker's testimony. I was looking at some of Neek's uh Neek at Night, her coverage of the trial, and some of Booker's cross examinations were just pointless. Like I've said, it was pointless. So
Oh, hey. With Zeem, you can stream free local TV from all over the country. Zeem speaks for itself. It really doesn't need a celebrity spokesperson, but they promised me I could do this. Zeem. Always local, always free.
Panera's mac and cheese? Fave. Tomato soup in a bread bowl? Fave. All your favorites, always at Panera. So grab a chocolate chipper. We know it's a fave too. Only at Panera. $1 delivery fee on our app.
we are taking a further look leader of the Manson family cult and who died in prison from old age. Manson was initially convicted of orchestrating the deaths of the Sharon Tate and her entourage, her party at the Cielo Avenue home in was it Brentwood? No, it wasn't Brentwood. It was Holmby Hills, where the ultra wealthy live. And then the following night, he also uh, orchestrated the deaths of Lino and Rosemary LaBianca. Lino was a grocery store executive, and his wife Rosemary were brutally murdered by the Manson family. And months later, they were discovered, I believe, by a matchbook that one of them dropped, and it was traced back to them. And they were ultimately tried and convicted in what was called the trial of the century. And these women, which is who I want to talk about today, the women, there was a mystique around them. One writer said that the media kind of lumped them all together and didn't really see them as individuals at the time. And I think, that can be said for the women of carbonation. They're not a monolith. They're very different. They're individual human beings, and we should see them as such. Booker was asking questions like, "Did your school lunch serve pizza? Do you have pink ballerina shoes? Because my daughter has a pair." Exactly, Lily. Lily. He did not. I can really say for certain he always had his head down. He did from 14 to 19 institutionalized, whether that was in the mental institution or juvenile hall. You're still institutionalized.
So he say, so he say, so he say. As Mary J. Blige said, I'm going down.
And so the evolving mythology of the Manson girls. The so-called Manson girls were pop culture fixtures, but we're just starting to understand them. And this is a article in Vox dated August 8th, 2019. And I believe this is when one of the Manson girls who testified against Charles Manson uh, had her book came out in 2019, I believe. It was amazing the respect. Once, when we were working on the Christ story, he demonstrated this the submission thing. He turned to Lynn and said, "Lynn, come here and kiss my feet." And she got down on her knees and kissed his feet and sat down. And then he said, "Now I will kiss yours." And he did. There was never any explanation or any question. They just did it. Charles Manson's recorded Charles Manson's record producer, Gary Strumball, to Rolling Stone magazine, 1970. And we know about the whole submission game by Eligio having the women kiss his feet. You know, hey D, Welcome, welcome. Yeah, how Alicia would have the women kiss his feet. I don't know if he ever kissed theirs, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Like Nature Boy did with Velvet and Malia after the fight. Yeah. 5 years ago this week, the Manson family murder shocked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, not 5 years ago. 50 years ago. That was in 2019. The Manson family murder shocked Hollywood with that final death of the utopian dream of the 1960s and gave birth to the mythology of the Manson girls. In 1969, the Manson girls helped build the Charles Manson mythology. The Manson, this Manson, I'm not going to say that he's got hypnotic powers, but he's got some kind of strength because he's able to get this girl from Alabama to come out here, and she could have stayed in Alabama another 6 months. Anonymous prosecutor of the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office to Rolling Stone in 1970. The world met the Manson girls during the trial of Charles Manson when he and three of his followers went to trial in 1970 for the 1969 murder of 8 people, including actress Sharon Tate. Tate's celebrity guaranteed that the media would have been interested in the case no matter what. But what made it a bonanza, with newspapers breathlessly reporting on every detail, was the brutality and apparent randomness of the killings. Manson had no real connection to the victims. He picked them out of the part he picked them out in part to cover up other crimes, and in part because he wanted to spark a race war. The victims were all stabbed numerous times, including Tate, who was pregnant, and investigators found the word pig written on the wall in Tate's blood when they arrived. Adding to the media's interest was the knowledge that Manson hadn't actually committed any of the murders himself. He'd gotten his following to do it, and a number of his followers were young women. That's when the press began to really latch on to the story of the Manson girls.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Isn't it interesting that
Yep. These girls do the
the
same
press
thing.
hasn't really latched on to this story?
They will.
If these were beautiful young white girls, this would be front page story, and
Mm-hmm.
Eligio Bishop's name would be all over the place. But he said, Kendra said it, and it's heartbreaking.
Let me see how my likes are doing. How are my likes? How are my likes doing out there? Please support the channel. Please hit the likety like. Let the likes math be mathing. Yeah, she was 8 months of cancer. Uh-huh. Jackie said the math ain't mathing. Can we get these? Can we at least get five? All I want is 5 likes. Can we get 5 likes? Can we just move up 5 likes? That's it. Just 5 likes. We don't ask for much. We only asking for 5 little likes. Hey, K. Shawty. Thank you, K. Shaw. K. Shawze. I'm glad there's a meeting in here. Ow. Did we get the 5 likes, guys? We would like to move on. We need some likes. We need the likes. We need the likes. Okay, can we? Did the likes move up? I can't see on my end. Did the likes move up? Did we get the 5 likes? Because then 5 nice people hit the like. So we can keep moving forward, forward, and forward. Okay? Because don't forget, I got to come back.
She said he told them nobody's going to care about a bunch of black girls. And in some ways,
Two
he
more
was
likes.
right.
2 nice people.
He was right. And yeah, I probably do make a lot of things about race because I do see things through a racial lens because I'm not blind, because I'm woke, because I am a woke woman. There were the 3 women who were tried with Manson: Susan Atkins, Leslie Van Houten, and Patricia Krenwinkel. And the Associated Press reported in prison uniforms with ribbons in their hair, famously shaved off that hair after Manson shaved his head partway through the trial, and shocked the nation by laughing as they walked into the courtroom to be sentenced. The country was thrilled by the contrast between their youth, and femininity, and the viciousness of the crimes. The second witness a s- is scheduled to be a soft-spoken, angelic-looking young woman who is accused of being a participant in at least 8 brutal and senseless killings. Read one article published as the trial began under the breathless headline, "Hippie Girls to Tell All in Tate Murders." There were also the girls who testified against Manson, Linda Kasabian and Diana Lake. Reportedly described Lake as the Reporters described Lake as the petite auburn-haired witness and Kasabian as a petite blonde, noting that Kasabian candidly admitted extensive drug taking, stealing money, and extramarital relationships with numerous men, including the 35-year-old Manson. Finally, there were the girls waiting for Manson outside the courtroom. They shaved their heads. They served as the kickers to the AP's account of the trial. Though, though through it all, the AP wrote, a band of loyal Manson clan women maintained a vigil in the street outside of the Hall of Justice, waiting for their father to be freed from the tower. The women, too, shaved their heads after Manson shaved his. As the Charles Manson story took shape, the idea that he had some sinister and possibly supernatural influence over all of these young women became central into his mythology, especially the idea that life on the Manson ranch was probably just one nonstop orgy. When an anonymous prosecutor for the DA for the DA's office talked to Rolling Stone about the Manson case in 1970. He noted that he knew of a divorced biker who used to stay at the Mustang Ranch because the girls would take care of his baby for him because he used to get free PUSSY. He used to admit it, the prosecutor said. He'd say that this is the greatest thing next to mother's milk. They'd bring you food, make love to you, and anytime they could. There would be about 12 girls, Manson's recording producer, Paul Kaufman, explained in the same article. Every time Charlie saw a girl he liked, he'd tell someone, get that girl. Sound familiar? And when they brought her
Just
back,
like, just like Mr. Nature Nut. Just like Nature Nut. Mm-hmm. Don't forget to hit that like. If you'd like to support the channel, support the channel. We put in a lot of work in here. Yeah, we do. Or just sit back and enjoy the show.
Charlie would take
Look
her
at them sitting just like eeny, meeny, miny, and mo. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's what they sitting like. Even and they had a bigger following. Mm-mm.
out to the woods and talk to her for an hour or two, and she would never leave. The Manson girl mythology had everything pop culture in 1969 could want. The gruesome killings of a movie star, beautiful young girls, murderers, the counterculture gone wild, and a titillating hint of a hippie-ish free love ethos. What could possibly make for a better tale? Over its time, Over time, it became clear that the Manson girls were victims. They remained a part of the Manson mythology. I can get along with girls. They give up easier. I can make love to them. Man man has this ego thing. Charlie stiffens up, holding on to his prick. I can't make love to that. Girls break down easier. Charles Manson to Rolling Stone in 1970.
Mm-mm.
Over time, it gradually became clear that the Manson girls weren't just cold-blooded killers who were oddly devoted to Manson. They were victims. And that too became part of the Manson mythology. The lead prosecutor of the Manson case, Vincent Bugliosi, turned his account of the Manson family into a book called Helter Skelter: The True Story of the Manson Murders, which would become a bestseller true crime ever written and would set the narrative for the Manson story going forward. Bugliosi reported that Manson paid his rent on the ranch where he lived by ordering the Manson girls to have sex with older men who owned the place, and that the infamous Lynette Squeaky Fromm, who tried to assassinate Gerald Ford in 1975, was so called because she used to squeak every time the man pinched her thighs. So there was this old man who owned the ranch where they lived, and if you've ever read Helter Skelter, Bugliosi goes into great detail about the relationship between this old dirty old man and these kids who he was, kind of disheveled and wasn't really taken care of, and he was living up at this ranch all by himself in this dilapidated ranch. And here comes Manson and all these pretty girls, and they kind of love bombed this guy and took advantage of him. Life on the ranch, in other words, wasn't a nonstop orgy because the Manson girls particularly wanted it to be. Group sex was frequent because Manson wanted it that way. He
Mm-hmm.
had brainwashed these girls, staying with him into doing what they were told. Bugliosi's story has since been found to have plenty of holes in it, but his account of the Manson girls as submissive dupes whom Manson could use as sexual bartering chips became the way the country talked about the girls going forward. Manson had an old con skill at picking the members of his band, explained the New Republic in 1975 in reviewing Bugliosi's book. The girls were young, homeless, fanciful, at war at war with their parents. The boys were kept in line by being given the girls. And in the story, Manson influence over his followers proved not that Manson was an abusive brainwasher, but that he was something more, something special and mythical than that. There was something else in Manson that could turn them, the Manson girls, from borderline psychotics into psychopaths, killers of unparalleled cruelty. The New Republic wrote, I don't think there's any possible doubt that Manson was a demon, not possessed by one. He was one. Although this updated narrative positioned the girls less as pure monsters and more as victims who were more molded into killers by a demon, it was not particularly interested in the Manson girls as being human beings. It was mostly interested in the titillating ideas of fanciful young girls who had been brainwashed by a demon into doing absolutely anything. The girls were still important mostly as living props who proved Manson's power. It does, Michelle with one L. It sounds a lot like carbonation. This is the hate, JC. This is exactly how Eligio started off. He had to be a con man. He had to be a jack of all trades. He had to be everything to everybody because he never had anybody. He never had anyone who loved him, who cared for him. I do not believe that the bishops were in a position of compassion. I don't think that they saw these as I think they saw them as, two bad little boys who desperately needed discipline and structure and the Bible. And that was all that they were prepared to give.
Hey, kitty baby.
Discipline, structure, and the Bible. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Um, and Charles Manson was also a victim of his environment. But yes, this idea that, you know of objectifying these women as not victims. They were very much victims. Now these Manson girls were plied with LSD, and Charles Manson would pretend to take the LSD and make sure everybody else was stoned around him. Although this updated narrative position the oh no, I read that already. There are Manson girl counter narratives now, but the old story still has a pop culture clout. I was feeling disenfranchised with Charlie, and I wanted him to want me. And so he thought we were going to make love, but instead he turned me around and he sodomized me. When he when he was finished, he said, "That's the way you that's the way. You know, we do it in prison." And I didn't really trust him after that. Diana Lake to 2020 to ABC's 2019. Of the three so-called Manson girls who were convicted of murder and went to prison, two of them, Leslie Van Houten and Patricia Krimwinkle, are still alive and still in prison. Well, not Leslie Van Houten, she was released. The third, Susan Atkins, died of brain cancer in 2009 at age 61. She, like Van Houten and Krimwinkle, was reportedly denied parole throughout her sentence. In 1972, Atkins, Van Houten, and Krimwinkle became the center of an experiment from the Santa Cruz Women's Prison Project, run by radical feminist criminologist Carlene Faith, as reported by American Studies Professor Jeffrey Melnick in his book Creepy Crawly, Charles Manson and the Many Lives of America's Most Infamous Family. Faith and her coalition of feminists dedicated themselves to rehabilitating the three women. They treated the women of the Manson family like active subjects, as people who could liberate themselves, writes Melnick. Faith and what Melnick described as a program to raise the consciousness of the imprisoned woman according to a feminist principle. They taught their pupils about the law, gender studies, ethnic studies, and psychology, and also poetry, music, and politics. Atkins, Van Houten, and Krimwinkle responded to the program, apparently becoming model prisoners. They earned advanced degrees and commendations for helping their fellow inmates, and the staff at their prison has given them enthusiastic character statements at parole hearings. Van Houten had recommended for parole has been recommended for parole 3 times since 2016, only to be denied by the governor every time. Krimwinkle is now the state of California's longest serving prisoner. The women of the Manson family who didn't go to prison have spoken out about their treatment at Manson's hands, and they are beginning to finally find an audience. Diane Lake says she first became involved with Manson when she was 14 years old, and that he sexually assaulted her. I feel very strongly, she told ABC earlier this year, that it's only by the grace of God that I was protected throughout this, and I was a young victim. I was abused, I was neglected, I was abandoned. I hope that my story will help tell a cautionary tale. And as these women's condition continue to insist on
Something
their
like that.
identities as not just the Manson girls, but as agents of human beings in their own right, popular culture is starting to take notice. In 2016 saw the release of the wildly buzzed over novel The Girls by Emma Klein, who took place in a Manson family like cult, but to exist, and released it as a
No matter who you are.
Hold on. We're going to get back into Nature Nut case. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. We're going to take a little music break and give me a second. It's almost that hour. We're going to hear a little music. Here you go, Boss Jackie. This for my girl, Boss Jackie. Mm-hmm. All right. Hopefully y'all was able to stretch your feet and stuff. Hey, Lakeisha. Hey, Jody. How y'all doing? I'm going to drop the link in, right? And how was you guys Sunday? Hopefully everything was just fine. And then we're going to talk about his appeal and his case a little bit more. Hello, darling.
Hello,
Hey,
darling.
hey, Queen.
Hey, Queen. Happy Easter.
Yes, 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 yes. And then I might do a short little video on my other channel. But I want to get into this. I just want to know how your day going.
Good. I was just resting. I needed to rest.
Girl, that's what I was doing. I'm like, oh my goodness. 'Cause I like to go on because I know towards June, end of June, I can't. But okay, let's see.
Okay.
You see Aaron in the car. Yeah, and like I said with him, he did a lot of shit, like I just feel like
my client, he's 41 years old. He does have strong ties.
oh no, it's just well, he didn't say his name. He said this dude was helping him find my place. And in the history behind was a little children in my eyes. I'm not, no. What? Because that's what he was making in the beginning. But
All right, I get to the court case. It's coming.
to reach the quota, then he just got paid the free. This one, tell you, whole house free. Only thing you got to do is go through that program right there. Was people that, you just take my damn word for it. That's where the hell that his ass is at. That's just a briefing that I wanted to show you all, and him as well, because he's probably tuning in and he's probably trying to figure out how do we even find out any of that stuff, man. We didn't have to find out.
It's credited to King World.
Then I already told it. Nature Boy pretty much showed it, did improve, and now we'll get into who the jurors are, within the case, because it is out there now.
damn, boy. I'm just like, yo, 50, boy, this is the big one. And you know that this is the big one. So the people, that's been selected, the people that agreed, to take the stand, they're going to be jurors, against 50 Nature Boys. You clearly see right here, this is all of the people right here. And they done been sworn in. They is suited and booted, and they ready to go. This is, in fact, a true bill of indictment. Tells you that we stand at trial. I'm pretty sure law and crime is still here, for this.
He's going back over his old video like I do, but it makes sense.
If they would have been tuning in, then they would have knew all this stuff. They would have knew what they was facing. See, it's over with now, so I can run that. You feel me? I can run that now. You feel me? It's over with. That's when I was there. I was tripping up the whole shit because I was counting motherfuckers and everything. I was like, well, hold on. I remember this name. It's like, wait a minute. Let me see what's going on. Is this the same amount of people from the selection? Like, yo, I'm telling you, man, I peeped the whole fucking shit. I was like, this, man, you got to keep in mind, when people, was trying to tell you the right shit, 50, you just didn't want to listen. That's all that is. So, no, you want to listen, you got to get into the rest of this shit because it's fucked up. Let's go, man. And like I say, you did it your damn self. And I can show you even as I'm scrolling because it's just, man, they got everything. It's all listed. Okay. You can even see the marks on the paper. Like, Nature Boy know that this is it. His initials is on it, and of course that V. Look at you see right here, stop it, correct. This is the count number 4 right here. The prohibition. As you can clearly see, Sherry Boston will, in fact, preside as the district attorney within the settling of any and all of that. That's another BC right there. You see the grand jurors aforesaid in the name. This is just the paperwork right here, that proves that it's an actual thing and that it's actually going down. I didn't start off on page 1, but I will go back. As you can see right here, the flag of the correct sentence structure, communication, correct syntax, grammar. This would be what I understand, and the reason why that they got postmaster right there, because within the U.S. Postal Service, like in prison, person in prison is called the superintendent, the highest working official within the United States Postal Service. To my understanding, would in fact be the Postmaster General. So Nature Boy has made an attempt to send out some information that DeKalb County has intercepted, whereas I believe that it was some incriminating stuff. I think that that's then before they even knew about the drone, et cetera, et cetera. They got all of this information. So this as well will be presented within the trial, as you can clearly see right here. And it's crazy. You see right here from Austell, Georgia, for the claimed use of quantum languages and violations. You see here, like with the junction, adverb, preposition, pronoun, adjective. This is when they was trying to figure out stuff that was said. That's why we seen that lady on the wire, the black lady that worked on the wire and shit. Her main job was only to interpret slang, West Baltimore slang. What's the job? She didn't have to get in a patrol car. She didn't have to do any investigations. The only thing that they needed her for in the on the wire, her job was only to listen to phone calls that Avon Barksdale and Marlon Stansfield made. Each of his team, of criminal culprits that was drug pushers in West Baltimore, in a TV show original from HBO that's called The Wire. That was a job. Now, with them deciphering through all of this information right here, with 50 Nature Boy, you see right here, they got it all right here. 1986, knowledge and stop correct wrongs, fraud and misleading statements, title, penalty, 25. Yo, man, look at this. And then throughout the law, because people were saying maybe Nature Boy gonna get hit with the RICO. The RICO right there is title, They're using a reference from 1961 from the RICO Act, as you can clearly see. Title 42, as you can see, from 1985 depicts depriving evidence or destroying evidence. Title 18 at the bottom is obstruction of the law, which would be obstruction of justice, but obstruction of the law. Nature Boy know what he did. That's why I tried to tell y'all a long time ago, despite what the fuck you done said. Now all of you are connected and involved. And thanks to all of the great people that's continuing to talk about me, because they're going to bring even more people to this channel as I continue to expose this code and everything that got to do with this code, as I've done successfully from day fucking one. So let's go. Now, as you can clearly see right here, the frauds and swindles, fictitious names and addresses, they got a Title 18 for conspiracy as well. You also see criminal deprivation of rights, loss of jurisdiction by collusion. See, like, that's why Abraham was saying what he said. See, aiding corruption at the start of the beginning. Like, this is a lot of paperwork that's within here. I ain't even had a chance to sift through all of it. And of course, you can see right here. Let's get our way into it. Okay? Let's go, man. The claim and knowledge to live life and the claim. Now, this is what 50 done filed. And then I'll go ahead and then get to it right now. Okay? Now, 50 Nature Boy's child is Tavon Ahmad Francis. Okay? Now, as far as the baby mom, let me go back up. Her name is Patricia Ann Covington. Eligio Jr. Prada. By their marriage, joined her. This is when Nature Boy had that name. The native Manhattan, as he had listed in New York County. And I told y'all all of this stuff. See, that's why when the lady that was over here that kept trying to say that she was his sister, when she was saying that stuff about Patricia Covington, you know, and we already, you know, we done already peep game, you know, with the peep game, with that being Nature Boy's mom. We already know that. And see, what was listed is that his father, you know what I'm saying, with some stuff like some, you know, by the father, Eligio Jr., which is Prada. You see what I'm saying? All of this was within the paperwork. Now, as far as this Tavon Ahmad, just peep game, man. Let's get the paperwork, y'all, because they were going to have questions, not only who he was, but what he was, in fact, connected to. And, of course, the paper trail within all of this. So, as you can see, Nature Boy's image has been provided. Well, saliva and his hair, these are hair follicle samples that have been provided to prove, in fact, that Nature Boy is, in fact, the father of Tavon Ahmad Francis. Eligio Bishop, this was done on June 29th, 2023. Autograph claimant live birth autograph copy claim is the verification. This 29th day, month of June in 2023. See this shit, right? Now the revoking of the power of attorney form, as you can see right here. The address that is listed is that same address that's close to the one where I showed you where Jack's ass was just at, which is at 7098 Silver Mine Crossing, and this would be in Austell, Georgia. Okay? Now the appointing person would be Portia Sheree Wade, which in fact would be Aya. She would be his successor attorney, in fact. So that's why you heard Aya when Aya said that she was securing the property. Now, the witness of acknowledgement, as you can clearly see right here, as it listed. Okay, now the signature of the witness will be somebody named Shanice Thompson. I'm pretty sure who Shanice Thompson is, so I ain't even gonna get into that. But you see, Kayla Christine Buckner has a P.O. Box address that's in Mableton, Georgia. The only thing that I know is that Aaron Dixon is in Mableton, Georgia. So I don't know why Kayla Christine Buckner, which is Efru, the video in Mableton, Georgia, 30126-9998. Think about this, y'all. And this was through e-verifications. You can clearly see the same case that we're dealing with, 22 CR 2234, Eligio Bishop, Stacy K. Hydrick, comes now the petitioner, affiant Eligio Bishop, and proper person pursuant to the applicable rules of court and procedure hereby moves the Honorable Court to dismiss the case due to the lack of jurisdiction and to release him from custody immediately as grounds for this pleading. The petitioner will state as follows: the affiant is not a lawyer. His pleadings cannot be treated as such. This is what Natureboy found. All of the evidence and or facts contained in his pleading constitutes newly discovered evidence because the
now listen to this crap.
Where these facts and the facts could not be asserted by the petitioner, affiant through due diligence. It's well established. Common law and newly discovered evidence will get any case reopened or reviewed. Additionally, jurisdiction can be challenged at any time. Blah blah blah. It matters not how the issues is raised. And the general statute stated a judgment rendered by court without personal jurisdiction over the defendant is void. It is nullity. A judgment shown to be.
Now we're going to just pause that for a second because this Ninjalect is trying to say he have new evidence. Guess what the new evidence gonna be?
What?
You're supposed to guess.
An unfair trial? An unfair trial?
No, but you're still close. Eeny, meeny, miny, and mo, right? Now all of a sudden, what y'all going to hear? But you was close when you said that because he's stating that they incriminated, but he never said that. But remember, for this one, you got to bring new evidence, and that would be the new evidence, baby. I would tear their ass up. I would tear their ass up on that court. I would tear them up. I would tear them up. They could use a baby lawyer for them. A baby lawyer, which that doesn't mean he's going to get it. He still may get denied. There's a lot of chances he's going to be denied. And by the time that do come around, they might be in jail. They might be in jail their damn self. So we don't know if they're going to be able to help him.
Because they're going to need their own damn lawyer.
Okay. Hello. And I don't know how this new GoFundMe is up there. Guys, it's still up there.
I think they put it in Maliah's name.
Get their money back. Yeah, but whoever name they put it in, people just usually just like go right after it. It doesn't even matter. Mm-hmm. But it's always been in Maliah's name, but she's the only one who hasn't been arrested. But it could go whomever. Pick anybody they want. It might be down by now. I don't even know. These people were quick, girl. They were quick. And then after this, I'm going on my other page. Me and Akeisha going to do a lesson today or Sunday. One of my old videos.
This is all what Natureboy wanted to file is if he wanted to basically get the damn case throughout. That's what all this is. Now the statements of the case and facts, April 14th, as we know the arrest date for the Citizens Code leader, 50 Natureboy as we call him, Clubfoot as I call him, Baba G or Babaji as I call him, Eligio Bishop was falsely accused and arrested for rape, false imprisonment, prohibition on nude sexually explicit transmission. These claims are false. This is what he filed. Eligio Bishop was with 4 women the entire night of the incident who can attest to no such thing that occurred, which is Malia, which would be Aya, which would be Afro, and of course Zoca. Eligio Bishop was never alone with the accuser. Prior to the accuser going to the police, she did an online interview admitting to the public that her and Eligio made love. She didn't want to leave. The accuser had a cell phone with her the entire time, had a rider Uber who came to get her, put her bags in his car, and decided to abandon her ride to say goodbye to Mr. Bishop. As far as the sexually explicit videos, she was not the only one present in those videos. There are 4 other women who were present in sexual educational videos and were all there when an agreement was made to post the videos. These 4 witnesses would never ask any questions as a part of the district attorney's investigation. The investigation was not conducted properly, leaving it one-sided and in the favor of the plaintiff. The detectives falsified legal documents in order to get an arrest. The accuser never used the forceful language that was present in these documents. Since May of 2023, the DA has offered a plea of nowhere pro se, the most serious charge, rape. Corpus delicti. For a crime to exist, there must be an injured party. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed on one because of the constitutional right. Supreme Court's rule: without corpus delicti, there can be no crime in every prosecution. As you can see, all of this stuff that Natureboy tried to use, these general statutes, he made an attempt to use. And by doing so, he wanted to prove his innocence to a degree. Although we all know that that's pretty far from what the truth actually is right now. This is all paperwork that 50 put in. Now, I don't know whether or not if he knew for sure. I don't know if he knew for sure that the information was going to be revealed of his child. But yes, that information since then have been revealed. And judging that Negroes are not U.S. citizens, I would think that Natureboy has somebody that does have some knowledge of the Voice Science Temple that's in DeKalb County Jail to even file this motion, basically to suppress, destroy, or to get rid of the evidence that we've heard thus far that's against the sex code legal. Now, like I say, within all of this, because we will, take a deeper look within all of this, because we ain't got, nowhere within the paperwork, of course, things that were stated by the sex code leader prior to now, those things that were in fact stated by the sex code leader, we see without a shadow of a doubt now that those things were capped in reference to his innocence, in reference to things he cited that he didn't have anything to do with the rape. Those were, as he would call those allegations that we're willing, to be able to prove now is in fact all a damn lie. Now, as far as the stuff what he did, I think that he's basically trying to exclude himself only by mentioning that the other women was present to kind of, take away from how bad that the situation is. But no, we're going to get into it. We're going to get into all of it, okay? That's right, because I ain't forgot, you know what I'm saying? And if you forgot, what the situation is now, we jump into it right now.
Okay, the court is not going to get bond at this time. He is lying, and he is a danger to the community. Thank you, Mr. Richardson. We'll move on to the next matter.
Thank you.
Position number 2, Alicia Bishop.
Good morning, Judge.
And if I can just have one moment.
Hey, tell me if these receipts don't hit different right here. Man, it was just like yesterday, wasn't it? There go Miss Davis. See Miss Davis in the middle, don't you? That was Natureboy's attorney at one given time. And the lady that's in the bottom, left corner down there, as you can see, that's the lady that was putting the ice grill on. And when people, like when everyone was saying what they were saying about Tabitha Pasmino, and if Tabitha Pasmino wasn't the district attorney that would be, on the stand at the time, this is when I knew, because they state that within all of this, these are the receipts. You see what I'm saying? Everybody that talked about it and cloud chased and had people on their panels and shit like that or whatever, but throughout covering everything that got to do with the sex code. Here go the receipts right here, y'all.
Well, okay, Mr. Bishop is currently being held in no bond status. That was denied at first appearance on April 3rd.
Now, check this out. Now, anybody can drop it in the comments right now, but what is the reason now that he's denied pardon? What is the charge this time on this video, like on the Zoom call, if you remember? If you can recall what took place back then, what was it at the time that Natureboy, had got caught with? What had happened? Huh? What happened then? Because, people seem to have forgot about that. It just was the whole thing about the electronic transmissions and all that other stuff. But nah, it was some other stuff that happened. And this is what Darnisha about to go over. Oh yeah, it's about to be good now. I want to say his ass very well could be leaving. That's right. Shout out to Susie. Straight like that. And like I say, his ass could be traveling. He could be traveling, from the Department of Corrections back to DeKalb County for the charge that they're about to go over right now.
The incident date is March 11th, 2023, and it is at the DeKalb County Jail. The facts as we know them to be at this time are that the defendant was caught attempting to have contraband delivered to his cell at the DeKalb County Jail. Approximately 2 weeks prior, the defendant's cell was searched and a large amount of contraband was confiscated from his cell at that time. Officers then began monitoring his phone calls, and in the weeks leading up to March 11, 2023, he received calls from his 3 wives. All 3 women would be on the calls at the same time, and these calls, the defendant.
And see, that's the thing, back then with Corinda Carter, and by there only being just 3 wives at the time. We were questioning, that whole situation. Why did they only state 3 wives as opposed to 4 at the time? Then Goddess had pointed out that Corinda Carter had another charge. It was a
and
charge.
Zocaine is married. Zocaine, he can't claim Zocaine.
It gave the women detailed instructions on how to load contraband onto a drone. He instructed them on how much contraband the drone could carry, and he instructed them to make sure that the drone was the same color as the outside of the jail, and to make sure that the contraband was packaged in that same color as well. On March 11th, 2023, officers observed a drone approach the window of the suspect's pod at the jail.
The funny part.
And officers observed a broomstick emerge from his window. The string holding the contraband to the drone broke, and the contraband fell to the ground where it was recovered by officers. DeKalb Sheriff's Office had been observing the defendant, and he was found to have contraband in his cell, which included a cell phone. As they listened to his jail calls, he had instructed his 3 wives that they were on the call together to purchase the drone, same color as the jail. The packaging should be the same color and weight, and also a certain weight. And then they obviously saw all this happen. The drone was recovered, and it had the narcotics in it. As to his criminal history, arrests date back to 2006. Convictions include an ag battery that was reduced to misdemeanor battery. That arrest was in 2011 in Rockdale County, and he was convicted in 2013. He has a license charged out of Conyers that he pled nolo to in 2012. And then he has some cases that were dismissed or time expired. And then he has in Hawaii in 2020 a rules and orders misdemeanor that he was convicted of and got 90 days to serve. As to he does appear to possibly have a 22 CR 2234 CCAT case that includes rape, false imprisonment, prohibition on nude or sexually explicit electronic transmission, 3 counts. And we are asking that he remain in no bond status. This is not a 90-day case at this time. He is a risk of reoffending. He's a risk and danger to the community based on his pending case and the risk of intimidating witnesses and otherwise obstructing justice. He's still communicating with his wives while they are his co-conspirators, in his rape case and ordering them to commit more crimes at his behest while he's in custody. We've spoken, an ADA with our office has spoken with the deputy at the jail and was informed that this is not his first issue with contraband. And we are asking that he remain in no bond status at this time. We are working on getting it scheduled for grand jury and anticipate that it will be scheduled prior to the 90 days.
So the receipts definitely hit different.
All right, counsel.
Yes, thank you, Judge. A little bit about my client. He's 41 years old. He does have strong ties to Georgia. He's been connected to Georgia for the past 20 years. If released on bond in his cases, he will reside at a home locally. He's earned his high school diploma.
Somebody just put in the comments and said, "Whoa, is this new?" Oh man!
No, that part ain't new.
Somebody say, "Is this new?" What you say, Mark? Mark say, "Yo, is this new? You ain't never seen this before, Mark? You never seen this?"
Y'all should have been following us. They would have seen it.
Receipts dropping.
I was there live.
You feel me? And not to say anything, about you, Mark. I'm just saying in general. It's people that seem to have left out certain pertinent information pertaining to this whole situation.
He's also earned a business certificate from Job Corp. Per Mr. Bishop, he was honorably discharged.
Boy, his background, his family, where he came from, and anybody that can just point at him and say, "I know this person. We went to elementary, when we went to junior high school, we went to high school." There's not one person on this damn internet thus far with proof that can come forth and say that they know this person or know where they came from. Man, I can call 5 or 6 people right now and be like, "Man, you my mom," and they'll tell you, what I'm saying? And if you think about it,
whoever he was with,
he was out riding in a slingshot, doing all kinds of stuff.
I just wanted y'all to hear the update. I don't know how to stop it now.
that was before me. I think I seen 2 women come there to visit.
2 women.
2 old.
This is ridiculous. If you got something to say, Queen, go ahead, because we're going to go over across the street to Tony T.
The fact that he had him doing arts and crafts for the drone and the contraband is hella funny.
I'm going to show y'all the whole thing. I have it. I still don't know where it's at, but I have it live too. But it's nothing but them in court, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, and he had the phone. Dummy, they heard you making a. They heard you, and your stick broke. Stupid. That's that's where we get the drone sisters from.
They probably gave him that weak stick on purpose because they knew what was going to happen anyway. Dummy, you dumb idiot. They done set you up and you fell for it. Dummy. You big dummy. Oh my God. Man.
But I'm going to definitely end this, right? And I'm going right over to you. It's Tony. Put Tony T link in there. I got to show her some love. I got to go across the street and show her some love. And make sure you got your book right next to you, Lakeisha. I'll tell you how that goes.
Okay.
It's something like how we did the other day. Actually, that's exactly how it goes. But I'll remind you over there. All right, guys. Can you drop Tony T link in there? Everybody want to come to Tony T. It is Sunday. I usually do it on Saturdays, but today is Sunday. I usually do another channel. But now I got my hours back. Well, I ain't got my hours back. I got my stream back. I could do it. If Jackie drops in the Tony T link, drop in that link, please.
Come on over across the street now.
Because I don't know if everybody have it. It might be just me and Keisha. Forget y'all. Forget y'all. What's
They
that,
coming.
sweet?
They coming. Because they love you.
Now, but that replay game is real.
Okay.
Yeah, replay game is real. I appreciate them. I appreciate the replay game. There it go. Snap it. Snap it up. Snatch it. Flip it and flip it. Rub it down. Oh no. You have it, Lakeisha? You hit the link?
No, I haven't hit it. I'm gonna hit it right now. Hold on.
Don't stop. Hit it. Hit it. Don't stop. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. Hit it. That's right. Don't stop. Hit it, baby.
Where'd it go? Oh wait, hold on. This is it. Okay. Let me see.
And while y'all do that, I'm gonna play the happy song. Because we happy.
It's not coming up for me.
So happy.
I don't see it on here. I mean, I can't. It won't click for me on here, but I'm gonna go out, drop down, and then.
Are you gonna get it from? Oh no, you can't get it from inside the StreamYard. You gotta get it from inside the regular app.
Okay.
This is off. This is off anyway. Thank you, Queen.
Thank you for having me.
I'm always welcome. You're welcome, and thank you.